My name is Emma Oliver. I'm a freshman. I graduate class of 2022. My major is political science and law, history, and society. As a Buchanan Fellow, I really learned how to utilize the different resources available at the Vanderbilt Library, whether that was either going through the physical archives or going to the TV news station and editing video, or looking at the TV archives on Vanderbilt's collection online. I kind of learned how to utilize all these different resources and information kind of available at my fingertips to create ultimately a documentary about my journalist. And something that surprised me about this process was kind of like the breadth and scope of the collections available at Vanderbilt. I kind of had no idea how much information we harbor here at the school. I remember like the first day we walked in and the Jim Squires Collection was sitting on the table, and I was like, no way is all of this stuff in these boxes all for me to go through. And I remember picking up one of the things that's in my exhibit, the 1974 issue of the Chicago Tribune, and kind of feeling like I was holding a piece of history. So that was a really cool moment for me. In terms of how my work evolved, it kind of began with going through the physical archives of Jim Squires, and then after that we went back and we did a kind of stage of researching where, given the archives I was interested in, I kind of delved into different issues about Watergate that I wanted to ultimately pursue in my documentary. And then after that, we had the interview process. And between the interview, the archives, and my research, all of that culminated in the documentary, where I kind of chose what I wanted to include and how I wanted to tell the story, given the different pieces of information I gathered throughout my experience as a fellow. I definitely learned about the wealth of information that Vanderbilt Library harbors here on campus and digitally. It was really cool to feel like, I didn't even get halfway through the collection of Jim Squires, or even was able to cover, a quarter of it, but at the same time, it's cool to think that, you could spend weeks on a given project just with the information that we have here on campus. So it was cool to feel like through this fellowship, I kind of scratched the surface of that information. Through this project specifically, I kind of got to learn about how the different mediums of journalism work together and coexist. For example, my journalist, Jim Squires, was a print journalist, but he talked about how, or he attributed the ascension of the Chicago Tribune partly to hiring photo editor and photographer Jack Horn, which is another one of the journalists we're covering. So it was cool to see how they kind of tag teamed between print journalism and photojournalism, and were able to create amazing final products. So Jim Squires taught me a lot about how the importance of press during what he deemed as the golden age of journalism, which was when he was writing. It was cool to hear from him about how he kind of deemed journalism the medium through which we monitor society and we correct political corruption and we kind of maintain the integrity of society. So it was cool to talk about all that stuff with him.